I'm getting out my iPad and see if maybe I can get that to connect.
Okay.
Sorry, it's taking just a minute.
Oh, no problem. When you did it last time, were you ever able to get the video to work?
No, it was fine when I did it through the orientation process through the interview. Worked just fine. It wasn't a problem.
Uh-huh. That is so weird. So when you did your group thing last week, did you just talk and you didn't have any video?
Right. I could see everybody else, but they couldn't see me.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Oh, weird.
I don't know what happened in between that time, but let's hope this works. Okay, sign in. Allow. Okay. Do you have the meeting ID on you? Does it show?
The meeting ID. Let me see here.
If not, I can go out and go back to the school.
Would that be like the link that I sent you?
Let me try to go back to the school and see if that'll.
Okay.
iPads are a little bit different.
Oh,
There we go.
there you are.
Now I just got to fix this.
Now there are two of you.
Yeah, I'll get out of the other one.
Okay. Okay, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can see you, but I can't hear you. Is there a little button in the left part of your screen that says audio or join audio or something?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay.
How'd you do it?
I don't know. I just pushed a button and it said use internet. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, yay, we did it.
It's crazy.
um, so you have kids who are awake right now?
Oh, yeah. They're running around somewhere. Let me make sure I got my door locked. Otherwise, fit over a video. Okay. I think we're good now.
Good. Well, thank you for, I know the time difference can be kind of something to work with, so I'm glad we found a time that works for both of us.
I'm awake at all times. It don't matter. How are we supposed to do this exactly? Is it supposed to be 20 minutes each or?
Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up the assignment. It says devote at least 10 minutes for each role play. So yeah, I would say 10 minutes like per person.
Okay.
Do you want me? I could go first playing the role of therapist, or would you rather go first?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We can do that. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we might as well get started. It's always kind of funny to like role play like this. But the people I did my assignment with last week, they both had been in the program for like 2 years already. So they knew a lot more than I did.
Okay, so I decided on. Okay, so mine's gonna be my daughter. Okay.
Okay.
Figure out. I had to remember what the problem was.
Okay. Okay. So
between these, or
what'd you say?
when we're done, like you're playing the counselor and I'm playing the client, are we supposed to like stop the recording and then start a new recording?
I don't think we need to. I think it could just be the same recording.
Okay. I just
right? I mean, we can, if we're
I
gonna.
think that's supposed to be the same one.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with using the same one. I mean, I'm recording it on my end. Are you recording it also? There's a button on the bottom that says record.
I think it only lets you record it.
Okay, so I'll just send it to you.
Because you did the meeting.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I'll send it to you when we're finished.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get started and I'll play counselor.
Okay.
Okay. So thanks for coming in to see me today. Why don't we get started? You could just tell me a little bit about yourself and about why you're here today.
Well, what's happening is every day I feel like I'm just going out of my mind. I work all day long. I come home. I deal with my daughter. She's 6. She is driving me crazy. She doesn't want to listen. I ask her to take a bath. We fight. I ask her to eat. We fight. I ask her to do her homework. We fight. Every little thing, she's rebellious. She doesn't want to listen. And then I end up screaming at her. She ends up screaming at me. And then she ends up throwing tantrums. She throw things across the room. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do with her. It feels like we're just going over the same cycle every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a tough situation. So how many children do you have total, or is she the only one?
I have 2. I have a little boy as well, and he's 3.
Okay. But mostly the issues that you're talking about mostly have to do with your daughter and not as much with your son?
Correct. My son, he's very quiet and keeps to himself unless my daughter, of course, goes and agitates him and just picks on him until he gets frustrated.
Mm-hmm. So with your daughter, you said that she's 6 now, and you're having problems communicating with her, and she yells at you and she doesn't want to follow the rules and do the things that you're telling her to do. Has she always been like that? Or was there a time that you kind of noticed that her behavior started to change?
She was not always like that. I believe her first 3 years, she was a little bit self-independent, but she wasn't as bad. I believe after Alex came along, maybe the jealousy started, and that might have something to do with it. But I don't treat her any different than I treat him. I try to make sure that they're on equal standing ground. She even gets maybe a little more attention than he does.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the only thing that you can think of that changed in your circumstances, was that your son was born.
Well, here lately, it has gotten worse. She moved out of a preschool that she was used to for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
Now she goes to kindergarten, which is a whole new school, a whole new environment, a whole new people. And it seems that it has been getting a little bit worse now that that change has came into effect.
Hmm. What is she like at school with her teachers and with her friends at school?
Her teacher says that she's a really good student and that she does try hard, but she's a little rebellious. She comes home with yellows every day, which means she's gotten a warning or she's gotten in trouble because she wasn't listening and paying attention and talking.
Yeah.
And at school, she gets along with the other kids, but sometimes she'll come home and say that the other kids don't want to play with her and they're being mean to her. So I'm not real sure what really goes on there because I'm not there.
Okay. Okay. So it's not completely limited to just with you, but you're noticing it a lot at home.
Yes, a lot at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. And so now you're kind of just looking to see what you can do to both change maybe the way that you react, and maybe if you can change the way that you're handling certain things, then maybe it could change her behavior and just kind of help to improve the relationship between the two of you, and hopefully improve her behavior at school and all around.
Right. What would you suggest that I could try to control her behavior?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that in this case, kids and people respond really well to reinforcement. So whether it's positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. So right now in your interactions with your daughter, when you guys are having a really good interaction and she's doing what you say, if you say, okay, it's time to brush your teeth, or we're going to eat chicken for dinner, or whatever it is, if she's minding you and kind of like doing what you say and being polite, then one thing that could be really effective with a child or with a lot of different people is to reward her and make her feel good when she's doing the right thing and making the right decision. Is there
Right.
something that comes to mind for you that could be a reward or just kind of something positive that you could show her when she's doing a good job?
Well, she does like to have iPad time. She likes to play her little games on her iPad, so I could use that like as a reward system. Um, she likes little candies, and of course, what kid doesn't? She likes little toys. Maybe I can maybe get like a small toy, and then if she does good every day of the week, at the end of the week, she can have that toy, kind of like as an incentive.
Yeah. It seems like it could be a good idea to maybe give her some small things on a day by day basis, and then maybe a bigger thing at the end of the week. So I don't know if it sounds reasonable to you to maybe even put up like a piece of paper or like a whiteboard or something somewhere in your house, and you could have a little calendar like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then
Right. Yeah.
maybe she gets like a star, like a check mark on the days that she's doing really well, and maybe on those days she gets 10 or 15 minutes of iPad time or whatever would be reasonable in your house. And then if all the days she gets a star, then maybe she gets a little toy at the end of the week or
Right.
something like that. And then that way she has really positive feelings and like good things associated with it when she's being polite and minding.
Do you think I should do only the positive reinforcements, or should I punish her if she's having a bad day?
What do you do now? Do you punish her now?
I do. I try to whip her sometimes. It doesn't work. Doesn't bother her at all. And then, of course, we just scream and yell at each other, so that's not getting nowhere.
Yeah.
Time She doesn't stay in it. I put her in her chair and put her in timeout, but she'll get right out, and then I'll whip her, and then we're back to the yelling and screaming at each other.
Yeah. So it sounds like maybe the negative stuff and maybe the punishment isn't super effective and hasn't been working very well so far. Have you tried the positive reinforcement, giving her rewards?
I haven't, because I spoil her too much, so she probably gets what she wants most of the time. So maybe if I try taking that away and don't spoil her and make her earn it,
Yeah.
that would be a good thing.
So that's a little bit, my computer is about to run out of batteries. Just 1 second, please. I'm sorry. I really don't want to have to set up the computer again. Just a second. Yeah, so it sounds like for you guys, the negative reinforcement and the punishing hasn't been working as well. And so maybe if you could like set up something a little bit more structured, so that she's getting the positive things when she acts positively, and she's not getting them when she's not acting positively. So that's not really punishment, but it would be kind of negative reinforcement too, if she's not getting these things that she's used to getting. Do you know does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. And then maybe also, it would probably also just kind of from I guess from an emotional standpoint, maybe some really natural positive reinforcement would be that if she's minding you and kind of doing what she's supposed to do, because you're the adult and she's the kid in the house, then you probably are going to have better reactions to her, and you're not going to be yelling at her, and you're going to be speaking to her in a different tone than you would be speaking to her if she was
right.
acting out. So even if you're not calling it a reward, then it's possible that she could also have really positive feelings associated with that. Like if you're reacting really well to her and saying, "Oh, you did a great job today. You're a good girl," or "You look pretty today," or just whatever you think would resonate with her.
Right.
So maybe some like compliments too.
Right. So she loves to be complimented. She loves putting on little dresses and wanting everybody to say how pretty she looks. So,
so yeah, maybe just some encouragement for when she's doing a good job at things, just giving her some of that positive encouragement, I think could probably work really well too.
I think I can do that. I think that would work.
Okay.
Maybe just not giving her so much and just doing the award system and getting her to think about what she's doing in order to actually earn these things instead of just giving them to her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's a good lesson for everybody, especially a 6-year-old. And then hopefully you'll start to see improvement on a week-by-week basis, and she'll stop getting the yellows at school, and it'll just all be uphill from there.
Sounds great.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Okay.
All right.
That was kind of fun. Sorry about the interruption to get the charger.
That's okay. Okay, so I'll be playing the counselor now, and you'll be the client.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Miss Gonzalez. Thank you for coming in today.
Hi.
What brings you in today?
Well, I've been having some anxiety at work lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I've struggled a little bit with anxiety in the past. But right now what's going on is that ever since I started working at my job that I'm at, I really feel like my boss just kind of has it in for me, and like he just doesn't like me. And we just don't really have a good relationship, and I feel like he doesn't respect my work. And so it's kind of gotten to the point now where we just don't really talk to each other. And it's pretty awkward when we do talk. And so every day I just feel kind of nervous to go into work, and I feel like anxious in my chest before I go into work. And it's just really not a good feeling to not want to go to work because I don't want to face my boss. And I don't even know if he really dislikes me or not, but we just don't really vibe with each other very well. And I'm kind of scared to talk to him. So I don't even really say hi to him. He doesn't say hi to me. And we just don't really talk or communicate. And so I just kind of, I want to like work on that and try to figure out a way to start talking to him or to kind of improve the relationship.
Why do you think it is that you and your boss don't vibe together? Is there a certain thing that maybe has happened in the past?
I think part of it is gender. And I don't know if you know the word bro, but I just think of him as a bro. Like he seems to just be really into sports and really into like going out to bars with his friends. And he's kind of arrogant and full of himself. And if that makes sense. And he seems to respect men more than he respects women.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there's a gender thing there that I think he treats the men in our department better than he treats me. And I think part of him maybe thinks that I don't do a good job because I'm a female.
Now, have you tried to discuss this with your boss at all ever?
No, not at all. Neither of us have ever acknowledged it. You know, things just kind of go on and I do my job and he does his job, but we just don't really talk, which is kind of weird. And he gives me positive reviews and I've gotten raises and stuff, but so we don't acknowledge it. So maybe, I mean, I don't know, it could even just be in my head, but he doesn't talk to me and he never tells me I'm doing a good job or anything.
What do you think that you could do?
Hmm.
Do you think you could go in and talk to him about this? Do you think that you would be able to actually sit down and ask him?
I feel like I'm so uncomfortable around him already that it would be really hard for me to like confront him about this situation. But maybe I could start talking to him normally, like even just saying hi and how was your weekend and stuff. I mean, I could maybe start a little bit smaller.
Okay. Well, have you ever thought about trying maybe role playing to get yourself out of your head and to try to calm your anxiety and practice on how you would do that?
Like role playing with somebody who's not him.
Correct.
um no, but that sounds like that might be a good idea. It'd be just because I'm so intimidated by him.
All right. Well, let's try this. How about let's try a little role play? I'll be your boss and you be you. And
Okay.
it'll be a typical morning on a Monday, and you're coming in, and let's see how you can. Of course, my answers won't be the same as your boss's answers, but it'll give you a chance to practice and get a little anxiety out.
Okay.
Okay, so
So I'm coming into the office.
is he
Okay.
usually in his office or is he usually out to where everybody can see him?
He's out where everybody can see him.
Okay.
Okay, so I will walk in. I guess I could just start by saying, "Hey, Alex,
Good morning.
how was the weekend?"
My weekend was great. How about yours?
It was good. Didn't do too much. I took my dog for a hike and did a little bit of cooking, but just kind of the usual.
Well, I went to the sports bar and drank with my bros, and we watched a little football.
Oh, were the Seahawks playing?
No, the Jets.
Oh, I didn't know you were a Jets fan.
Oh yeah, I love the Jets. Do you watch football?
Yeah, I'm a Seahawks fan.
Uh,
Huh. Well, cool. Glad to know something new about you.
Well, it was nice seeing you. I'll see you later.
Okay, see you later.
Now, do you think that you could have a conversation with your boss like that? Of course, not exactly like that, because I'm sure he wouldn't say the bros. But if that was to come up, since you see him as a bro, do you think that you would be able to carry on maybe a 2 or 3 minute conversation with him without the anxiety building up?
I think I would be a little bit anxious, but I think I could do that. And I think I would be less anxious after I had done it once or twice. I think it's just hard for me to actually get over the hump and start the conversation. But I think if I do, it would probably be really helpful for me. And I'd feel probably a lot more comfortable at work in general if I could just have even like any kind of a friendly relationship with him.
I think that is the main thing to focus on right now, is getting your anxiety level a little down to where you don't feel as uncomfortable at work, because nobody likes feeling uncomfortable at work. It's where you have to be at most of your day. And everybody likes to wake up in the morning and go someplace that they feel comfortable and that they like doing their job. So I think if we can get your anxiety down and get you just a little bit more comfortable working around your boss, and maybe just little highs and little conversations here, maybe in the future it'll get a little bit more in-depth conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can have a better relationship with your boss. But right now, I think the most important thing to focus on is getting you comfortable
Mm-hmm.
at being at your job when he's around, and not being so anxious and worried. For next week, I would like to try a couple of relaxation techniques for you. Just when you're at home in your own time, kind of think about what you're practicing. Don't overdo it, but just think about how you can say hey to him when you walk in. Try to visualize it in your head. Try to have it just there to where it's not getting you anxious. And when you walk into work, try to do your breathing. Just take deep breaths. Don't get too anxious. Don't let it get to you. Do you think you can practice that?
Yeah, that all sounds very reasonable. Definitely sounds like things that I could do. And sounds like something that would help.
The one last thing that I would suggest is maybe a journal of the circumstances, like maybe times that it makes you feel anxious. Like if something, he walked by and there was a certain thing that he said that made you feel anxious, or something that he did that made you think that he didn't like you. If you can write those down, and then the next week we can go over those and see if there is a more keen focus on why this is happening.
That's interesting. Okay. That's a good idea. Okay, I will try those things.
That sounds great. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
I think that's all for today.
Okay, well, we'll see you next week.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so is there anything else that we are supposed to go over in the video?
Let's see here. It says...
I'm sorry about the cough. I'm still...
Oh, that's okay.
Getting over the bronchitis.
Oh, it was bronchitis. That's a bummer. Counselor gathers info, context. Devote at least 10 minutes to doing each role play, discussing realistic goals and techniques to provide behavior changes. And then it says, provide a summary write-up of the role plays, discussion of the goals and techniques. So yeah, so obviously we'll do that individually, and then I'll send you over this recording.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now I'm nervous that somehow the recording didn't work correctly, but hopefully it did.
Let's hope not.
Okay. Well, great to meet you.
You too.
Okay. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.